welcome back to another episode of Lost Out Survival. Today we return, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are having an absolutely fan-freaking-tastic day of the most amazing variety. Then it gets more fan-freaking-tastic from here on out. Today we are kicking things off with a visit to one of our favorite places where, we're being attacked! We've been marked! We've been ambushed by the survivors, but that's alright. We got a little bit of shotgun rain to help us save the day, along with some pistol drizzle. Speaking of pistol drizzle, let's make sure not to die. We also, after this little shenanigans over here, a little bit of a burp in that too. But back at home, we are ready for the max modded pistol, the final piece. One thing we've been missing, of course, is that better magazine, and we finally have it finished and constructed, meaning that we will now have easy and full access to fully modded pistols for the rest of eternity, and we're gonna be making use of those in addition to the rest of our arsenal as we venture back to the bunker towards floor 4, where therein might lie the secret to the 5th floor of the bunker. Not to mention, it's just been a little bit of a while since we have checked out the 4th floor. I have seen quite a few comments from y'all saying like, Star, when will you clear the 4th floor again? And we'll be doing a little bit of that today, because ever since, in case you guys are not, piece of candy, good stuff over here, aware, ever since, oh my goodness gracious, another burp. Will I ever finish this sentence? The world may never know. Ever since the one update that did add in the skill revamp and military convoy, I am tempted by you. Maybe we could go and pick up a finger or something like that to have some fun with over at the bunker. But whatchamacall, ever since the update that did introduce the skill revamp, where every time you level up you get a perk, which is, by the way, just so amazing compared to the way that it used to be before. There was this one perk that was added in known as the burglar, and that burglar is actually the key towards the 4th floor being kind of decent, because back in the day, man, when the 4th floor was first added in, like, it seemed super cool. It was so unique with a lot of the stuff that you had to do, and I'm gonna go put this stuff away. As we were saying, it was so unique in what it did introduce with a lot of the different, a lot of the different mechanics that floor did have, and it was so hype. But at first, like, and this is something that people quickly came to realize, is that the floor was not really that much worth it. But with the stipulation of bringing along a true friend, and of course, the little bit of a burglar skill revamp that did occur, it did become a lot more worthwhile. It's still a very expensive floor, but it does introduce a lot of really cool features. And hold on, sidetrack, let's get that extended magazine added to our arsenal, and let's make sure that that becomes our new go-to pistol, because that means that we have every single attachment you could possibly want on a pistol, meaning all of our pistols from now till the end of the freaking universe are gonna be as juiced as the imaginable, just like our saw blade mace that we're gonna be having a little bit of fun with. And of course, let's not forget the Kalashnikov 47s, which are fully modded versions, do 20 damage a pop. Hard to go wrong with that. So we're looking pretty good in terms of the arsenal that we are gonna need, because again, this is a floor that is like surprisingly tough, just because a lot of the enemies that you do encounter over there are surprisingly tough and very unique to the floor, I should say. So let's make sure that we are well showered and hopefully ready for some sneak attacks. And I see you coming towards me, zombie. Back it up, zombie. Back it up. Back it up. No, I'm taking a shower. This is my time. This is my time for me. How dare you try to ambush me during my time of serenity? Unacceptable. I will not stand for it. But ooh, baby, that 22 damage on this Glock plus that 4.0 speed, that is a wombo combo that I like. Puppers, calm yourselves a little bit. Okay, now let's go ahead and shout down on all that water that we can. Spread a little bit of vitamin P. I love seeing that hand freaking flying around for the 2-year anniversary. But back as we were saying before that absolute immense sidetrack, I almost said soundtrack. Don't think there's a soundtrack that has to do with this, but the floor does have a lot of like tougher types of enemies, and these random hallways that are just filled with death. They're freezing cold. They have bags of meat that just poke you, and it hurts, and like it just impales you, and it's like, like seriously, I've never met such lethal bags of meat in my life. It's pretty freaking weird. But I mean, hey, maybe the 4th floor was like the freaking butcher floor of the bunker. Maybe that's where they kept all the meat, because I still, like, why is that meat, like, actually, hold on. Why is that meat just hanging in random freaking things in the first place? Why has it been infected to the point where it stabs you? I have so many questions. Did the zombies, like, hang up those bags of meat? Hold up. How has no one ever asked these questions before? Low-key, I'd love to hear what you guys got to think about this, because now I've never actually like put any brain cells to work around thinking about this, but holy guacamole, why in tarnation are there lethal bags of meat? Did they infect so many questions that I think about it. And of course we are doing this in hard mode as well, making this even trickier, but the floor has become more worth it, and it is, I'd say, at its most worthwhile under 2 stipulations. A true friend dog, again, not the easiest thing in the world to do, and B, the max skill level of the burglar, because as you guys could see in that lower right hand corner, there is a very chained up box. That box is loaded to the brim, and it has like 3 frag grenades inside of it, and you should be able to find some frag grenades otherwise like outside of there as well. And a shotgun rain, oh baby, that was some big damage to the alls of y'all. Let's go ahead and just finish the job with our newfound extended mag pistol drizzle and slow-mo ability as well. But then later on in this floor, there's something very interesting that we do encounter as well that I really do want to go over, that is very well could be the secret towards floor 5. But in the meantime, check it out. This is where the doggo becomes super worthwhile, because he unlocks some rooms that you otherwise could not loot. Now, our loot, okay, that's kind of like meh. A single copper ore could definitely be better, but there are more instances, and again, there's also multiple instances of the burglar skill. You do not just need to put the burglar skill to use. A shotgun range to the both of you, and we got to go to our other shotgun range shortly after this, but there's other locked areas as well, and the amazing thing about locked chests is that they do tend to have frag grenades, which when they were introduced, I believe, in that exact same update that did add in like all the perks and stuff, like there we got that locked locker that might be the secret to our salvation. Game, please do not hit me with leg spike now, please and thank you. Those frag grenades are super powerful, especially when used properly. They are capable of massive destruction and are like one of the best, I'm gonna say quote-unquote budget ways of taking out large groups of enemies. Don't get me wrong, it's not super budget, but like compared to the alternatives, hello, I like what I'm seeing there. But compared to like the alternatives of freaking the shotgun spread shot, grenade launchers, AK under barrel attachment grenade launchers, like that is one of the best ways of doing like mass damage to large groups of enemies, making them pretty freaking worthwhile. And if luck is on our side today, it might actually be within this locker over here, and let's 2 of them. Whoa, that's what I'm talking about. Like even if you just go and like do the first like 2 rooms of this floor, like even if you don't like, and that's the thing too, like this lock tends to be a little bit easier. That lock at the end does require burglar skill level 3. That lock looked like a level 1 lock if I'm not mistaken, and dude, 2 grenades out of it, like that's the thing. This floor, I remember when it first came out, I was pretty hyped because I'm like, dude, new floor, but slowly that hype just kind of wore off, and this wasn't really a place that I ever went to, but like slowly they have made it kind of more worthwhile, and that's definitely something that like I love to see, because like I love being able to have like viable floors and viable places to loot up. And again, once we do get to the end, we got something very interesting to point out around one of those areas. But in the meantime, hold up, we got to get all these lads up in here, and shotgun rain up in there. Let's go ahead and spread a little bit of that, and I might bring out the AKs to play too, but also the main reason that we did bring the AKs out to play, and this is something that you guys will be learning, is to take out the turrets, which by the way, that's another reason that we did decide to go and do the 4th floor right around now, is because there's a lot of turrets we gotta get through anyways. And let me just say, one of my raider quests currently is to like destroy a ton of turrets, so it's kind of a win-win. It's a whole ton of amazingness, lads and lassies. And there we got our next shotgun spread that we could spread into them. Let's make sure that we heal on up. Oh no, no, no. Okay, hold on, this is awkward because yeah, my dog freaking blew up the exploder. God dang it. And I gotta deal with these freaking leeches, my guy. Get out of here, leeches. Ain't no one trying to deal with you. Give me these dead bodies though, since we, as we know, doing stuff on hard mode, it is a little bit trickier, but it does have very, very nice rewards. And speaking of turrets, we actually do have the first turret that we need to take care of coming up. Luckily, we also got the Kalashnikov 47 here to help with this, and this AK that we have modded to do like large amounts of damage as long as we don't start missing shots, which is the one thing that I'm trying to be careful of over here. We should be pretty good to go, just kind of tapping it one at a time. See you later, turret gator. Thank you so much for the turret parts and for the chest that you were protecting. I'll make sure that the stuff within this chest goes to super uber great use. That's right, we are going to open an Uber with this chest. I'm gonna toss some wheels on that bad boy, connect my smartphone to it. Next thing you know, we're about to have the most poppinest Uber server of all all time. Now, here's another cool thing about the 4th floor, of course, and that is these super cold parts that has to do with it. And we're just kind of, I don't know, it's been a while. Like, I just kind of want to go back over the 4th floor. And as we are doing it, I would actually love to hear from you guys. Like, has the 4th floor really been something you've been doing? Because, like, it's kind of something that I just, like, been noticing is that, like, the 4th floor really hasn't had that much love. And, like, I mean, for good reason. Like, it's probably arguably one of the toughest floors to do in terms of, like, the rewards you get and just, like, the like pure difficulty of it, especially when you start taking into account these big boys over here that are a little bit deadlier due to the fact that they're literally vampires. They steal your freaking health, my guy. That is not exactly the easiest thing to deal with. Those frozen bloaters over there steal even more health. Luckily, they're a bit easier to outrun. And we also do have our slow-mo, whatchamacallit, pistol drizzle. Woo! We've been ambushed. We got our slow-mo pistol drizzle over here to do a decent number on these dudes. And I was gonna maybe hit them with some shotgun rain, but for now, I'll just continue kind of trying to get a little bit of that separation, continue pumping them full of the pistol bullets, and I'll just take this one guy out. God dang it, man. They're so powerful, especially when they like stack up on each other. Oh, baby. All right, well, shotgun rain to you, mind friend. Shotgun rain. It says, bye-bye, and off of Eater Shane. Let's use up that next first aid kit that we got. But as you guys can see, like, it does take a good amount of ranged weapons. That's the thing, too, especially with a lot of these, like, frozen areas. Using melee weapons against them is even trickier since they do have the ability to sap your health, and ranged weapons do have the luxury of being able to get outside of their melee range, but that luxury doesn't exactly exist if you're doing this with melee weapons, which again just makes this floor that much trickier. And that's again like why I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this floor and what you think of it. Like, what'd you think of it originally when it came out, if you guys have been around since then, and just kind of in general, what do you guys think of it now that it is kind of been quote-unquote revamped? We have had some changes to it, and what do you think of if you come here as prepared as possible? Is it worth it? Because like I'm saying, personally, I think they have made it kind of worth it to the point where if you are coming here with max burglar skill and a true friend, you're gonna be getting some pretty decent loot out of it. Otherwise, it's a little bit iffy, but there could be something else that makes it even cooler, and we're gonna be getting around to that, like I said, at the end of here, because I suppose I could start talking about it. There's actually a generator awaiting at the end of this floor, and here's the thing. For those of y'all that have not been around for a while, the bunker used to be a very, very different place. Specifically, there used to be a generator. I can't recall exactly. I believe there was a generator on the second floor of Bunker Alpha way, way back in the day. Like, I'm feeling like an old man. Back in my day, there was a generator on the second floor, at the end of the second floor of Bunker Alpha. You had to repair that generator using some parts and a couple of things like that. Once the third floor was released. It wasn't just released like this fourth floor was here. The third floor, when it was released, okay, hold on, I had my shotgun out. I was about to say, like, why does it want me to keep on getting closer? You gotta be extra careful with these turrets, by the way, because they can literally, like, shoot out grenade launchers and stuff, making them extra deadly. Definitely do not want to be shot with grenade launchers. As a connoisseur of grenades myself, I got frag grenades, I got AK underbarrel grenades, I got plenty of grenade launchers flat out back at home. Grenades are deadly. Definitely want to be a little bit on the careful side with them. But back in the day, generators used to, like, they used to have a purpose. Currently, there's actually a generator, I believe, on third floor 3 as well. Well, back to what we were saying, back on that second floor, when the third floor was originally released, you could not just go to it. You actually had to repair the generator on the previous floor. Yeah, that's right. There's kind of a sense of progression where you had to do the floor before to unlock the floor after. Now, it's been a little bit of a while since we have had our newest floor added in. Now, that's where things get interesting, because as we are going to encounter this thing at the end of the floor, like I am saying, and dude, we're already blowing through a good amount of our freaking ammunition and everything that we got over here. We are going to have this freaking couple of frozen bloaters over here that we got to deal with. We're going to put him on slow-mo so we can take out the numb zombie first and foremost before we got to start worrying about this schmuck right here. I wish I attached the freaking barrel roll attachment, by the way. That would have been perfectly handy right around now. Just continue playing a little bit of a peekaboo and getting a little bit of separation with him. And there we go. That should be plenty to put the finishing blows onto that guy. And hopefully, I mean, we don't have like many more turrets to take out, so we could start using this AK. We should be good to go with that. Like I'm saying, I know that there's about to be a freaking, frenzied giant that we got to deal with. Those are extra no bueno for quite a few reasons. We might be able to, like, okay, hold on. We actually got to, like, bum rush through here because it's the freaking freezer, and we can start freezing to death in here, which is extra spooky. So, yeah, yeet. Those are the bags of meat I was talking about, by the way. What up, bags of meat? And, okay, let's just go and get a little bit sneaky deaky here so we could hopefully regenerate to the coldness because, oh my god, dude, that thing really, that's what I'm saying. Where'd those bags of meat come from? Why'd they get so infected? What in tarnation's going on? That had to just be like freaking slabs of meat or something, because those things became whack. But anyways, hello, Mr. Frenzy Giant. Please come my way, buddy. I'm going to kite you over here, and we should be able to, if we play our cards right, potentially totally neglect this dude. And there is this little trick we could utilize, and I do want to showcase this for you guys, since obviously Frenzy Giants are quite the nuisance to deal with, and especially in this case where it is such tight quarters and whatnot, they can be like extra tricky as well. But as we are doing that, we are going to be approaching this generator that I was talking about, and the fact that, like I'm saying, in the past, generators have literally been instrumental. They have been the lone key to unlocking future floors, and just given the way that they kind of like, oh god dang it, we are in a little bit of a, hello, did you not get any slower? I thought I hit him with the slow-mo. I suppose not, but in the past, that is how they have worked. These generators, they have unlocked the floor that comes after them. As we know, the 5th floor currently does not exist, and it appears that Kafir is planning something big for these floors that are to come in the future. And okay, now we should be able to, I suppose we'll start trying to deal with this schmuck over here. Let's just, yeah, I don't have another pistol drizzle. I suppose we could use the AK over here because he's gonna slowly be making our way towards us. Let's hit him with that slow-mo, pump him full of the bullets, and as soon as we get him, oh baby, our dog's actually just gonna damage him a lot, which does worry me a little bit. Let's get to that shotgun rain over there, because as soon as he enters that sprint mode, he becomes a lot deadlier than you might imagine. There we go. Yep, sprint mode engaged. Sprint mode engaged. We're gonna go whoop, hit him with the slow-mo. Ow! How'd you get the hit off on me? Shenanigans! Eat shotgun rain, laddie. There you go. Took him out that way. But if you don't damage a Frenzy Giant and you exit the floor and you come back, they'll pretend that like they never saw you pretty much, but my dog kind of ruined those plans. But that was what I was trying to show you guys. And oh baby, we got these turrets that we gotta deal with, which is pretty much what we were saving this AK over here for. These turrets are a little bit easier though. These are not the 500 health turrets, but that raider task should be completed because we have been marking turrets all freaking day pretty much. That's the one thing about this floor. I'd say it's a pretty good floor to hit up if you do want to try and quickly knock out that raider quest while kind of potentially doing a bit of a new experience. And we do have what our doggo is going to be collecting over here as well. Monsieur Doggo, please make your way into there and tell me what lies within, and check it out. A flare gun, one of the more uncommon or rare weapons in the game, because at least from what we have seen, the flare gun doesn't just appear anywhere. It appears in a very specific subset of areas, and I think this one pretty consistently actually does spawn it in, which again just makes this floor kind of intriguing, because if you at least do get to this kind of like halfway point, there's some pretty good goods awaiting you, and that is some more stuff as well, because the loot of this floor is pretty, I mean, it's not the most plentiful, but it is pretty advanced, because as you guys are seeing, we're getting some copper ore, we're getting some copper bars, and that's where this floor, in combination with those burglar things and the thing that the dog does get, becomes kind of worthwhile. And I think once that 5th floor does get incorporated as well, the worthwhileness will only increase as well. And check it out, we're gonna do a whole ton of freaking, because there's like a ton of enemies in here, and big boys, hit them with a whole ton of shotgun rain, and let's get a little bit of heal, and let's get a little bit of boom in there, and we've done quite a big number to quite a few of them. We'll just, oh baby, no, that exploder is getting a little bit too close for my comfort. Is this thing regenerated yet? No. Okay, let's just try to, woo, hello, my guy, stop moving for a second. Kind of panic, not gonna lie. I'm gonna wait for this thing to regenerate, and shotgun rain. Okay, these guys are freaking surviving everything. Holy guacamole. Finish off the exploder over there, and there we go. Our doggo was able to help. Anything? No? None of those guys dropped anything? Are you kidding me right meow? But we are almost to this generator room that I was talking about that is going to have that generator, which is just so interesting because it does appear, especially with how they are kind of, you know, these floors, we haven't seen a new floor added in for quite a while. And actually, last that they mentioned it, they did say, now don't get me wrong, this was quite a while back. This was like a few months back at this point, I believe, but there was like some sort of a developer interview that occurred, and someone asked them what are their plans for floor 5 and floor 6, and I believe that they had plans for some sort of like new bosses to be added into those lower floors as well, and to be able to access those bosses, because I mean, like I'm saying, they're really making it seem like this floor 5 and 6 is going to be like some kind of extra special, extra hard thing to get to, because it's taken quite a while for us to be even able to get into it. Wow, that was just a hard sentence to say for some reason, and wow, we got some dudes over here that we gotta deal with. That's obviously gonna be a fun one. We can go ahead, we'll use the shotgun rain, we'll use the AK-47, and oh, they're already already running away, dear mama. They are quick boys over here. So shotgun rain. We'll get a couple hits off on those dudes, and we'll go ahead and boom, get some of those hits as well. Let's just finish the numb zombies off really quickly, and then we just got the last frozen bloater running after us. He should be a bit easier to deal with since he is slightly slower. Computer, bro, don't be betraying me now. Don't hit me with our random lag spikes like that. Now is not the time, my compadre. But as we know, these generators, I don't think the second floor has one anymore, but I know that the third floor does have a similar generator, and obviously this fourth floor does over here as well. And that had me thinking, because we have seen what these generators have been used for in the past. They still exist, like they're still here, meaning Kafir has some sort of a purpose, something in mind for these dudes. And then the fact that there is still that one on the third floor, at least I think so. It's like, I swear there's still a freaking generator over there. I think it's in that like one locked off room with the frenzied giant, but in combination with that, it does appear that these generators still are going to have some sort of a purpose. Otherwise, they wouldn't exist. And I think what might need to happen is kind of a combination of all of these floors coming into play. Ow, I'm just going to take the stabbery a little bit and just let it happen over there. And okay, I'll just make sure we don't freeze to death. I'm going to go ahead and mow down these numb zombies real quick like a see you later, numb zombie number 1 and numb zombie number 2. But generators like this continue to exist. The generator recharge, it will take time to restore electricity supply to lower floors. When the generator works at its full capacity, you'll be able to get there in the elevator. And the fact that we have seen that exact same mechanic work in the past of Last Day on Earth, in addition to this generator still being here, and I believe this generator still existing on the third floor. I don't think the second, I think the second, where it used to be on the second floor definitely does not exist anymore. I do think the third floor still has it, but regardless, we know that there's at least one generator. We have seen what they have been used for in the past, and I think the mechanic that, like, the way that this might end up working is that we will need to like regenerate and restore the generators, potentially the one on the third floor and the one on this floor, and in combination they'll be able to unlock those lower floors. So I'd obviously love to hear what you guys got to say around this, and like you guys' thoughts around this floor in general, since this is a floor that has come into its own. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's the best floor out there. It's still pretty freaking tough, and as you guys have seen, we are blowing through like, oh baby, that's a lot of enemies over there. Let's get our last shotgun rain blast into these dudes, and we'll get a little bit of granata action as well, and hopefully be able to do a nice number on these guys. Hello, big boys, get over here. Shotgun rain to you. Let's run away a little bit. Granata to you. To finish you off over there. And all right, we got the frenzied giant coming our way. Let's just try and get out of here. I'm gonna get stabbed once. Let's heal up, because these bags of meat are the most lethal bags of meat I've seen in my career. We might need to use flare gun actually a little bit, because I am concerned. And yes, okay, flare gun it is. We literally didn't even bring enough guns to get through this freaking floor, man. That's what I'm talking about. This is a bit of a tricky one, but I love the fact that flare gun does still do 9 damage per hit over there. So we're gonna try and hit this guy a couple of times with our flare gunnery and bring his health down a little bit, because the flare gun, it definitely has its uses, and we are seeing those uses. Oh my god, did he speed up? Did we thaw him out? Has he become more fast because of us? Oh baby, that's a bit of a scary thought now that I think about it. But anyways, he's gonna be going his freaking like full psycho mode over here pretty soon. Computer, don't you dare hit me with the lag spike during that full psycho mode. I would not forgive you. That'd be a douche canoe move. I'm just gonna heal now. Yeets! Hit him with the slow-mo. Nice, nice, nice. That's what I'm talking about. Get him a couple more times with this flame, and hopefully he will fizzle out like a candle with no wax or string, whatever the thing that the candle goes on is left. But I'd love to hear what you guys think just around the floor in general. Do you think it's something that is worthwhile? Is it something that you kind of liked since the beginning, or is it something that you've kind of grown to like, or is it something that you still think is kind of whack? Because we're about to showcase, I don't think there's any more zombies awaiting us, unless there might be like maybe like one in this last room over here. Maybe. No, we're good to go. But especially once we take into account this chest over at the end, there will be quite a bit to take away, because we're gonna go ahead and open up those other chests. But this chest, oh, this is a chest that makes me happy every time I open her up. As you guys are seeing, that brings us to a grand total of 5 grenades we've acquired here, multiple copper ores. Oh, sorry about the burp over there. Multiple copper ores, a little bit of aluminum, and still more chests to open up. And with all this taken into account, I'd love to hear from you guys in that comment section down below. Your guys' thoughts on this floor, your guys' thoughts on this whole generator shindig as well. And a reminder that that comment is going to put you 1/3 of the way into the wiki tribe. I do such Play Store gift card giveaway. All you gotta do as well is make sure that like button, make sure to subscribe, and that'll enter you in on today's video. Y'all can go ahead and enter in on every single last day on Earth video. When Saturday rolls around, we'll pick random video for the past week, pick a random comment from that random video, and that will be winner for the week, and we'll kick off a new weekly giveaway that exact same Saturday as well. So make sure you stay tuned with that notification bell to stay up to date with every single video. Y'all can enter in on for that weekly giveaway, not to mention all the other dope survival games going up on the channel as well. And of course, that notification bell is going to keep you in the loop with the latest and greatest of last day on Earth information. Not to mention the latest and greatest. I definitely just clicked one, did I not? The latest and greatest of updates as well. As soon as a new update does come out, we're diving headfirst into it and showcasing off all that update does. Hello, I clicked on what? There we go. Does have to offer. So obviously would love to hear what you guys got to say about the 4th floor. It is something that I have seen requested, and definitely something that I did want to give some love, because I have seen some questions and I saw some people asking about, like, Star, what do you think of the generator in the 4th floor? And I guess the generator is not really something I've talked about in a hot minute, so definitely something I did want to bring up, because especially kind of like just given some of the know-how and knowledge of how the bunker used to work in the past, what these generators have done in the past, and the fact that Kafir specifically still added a generator into the 4th floor does kind of foretell some stuff coming in the future, and especially with what the devs have said during that interview, or I think it might have just been like something they mentioned in like the official Last Day on Earth Discord chat. During one of the two, there is obviously, though, that very interesting takeaway where they do have plans, at least at the time of them saying this, that is subject to change. It might be changing, but last we heard, they do plan to have some sort of bosses down in those lower floors. And when it does come to boss battles, it does seem like they do want to have that little barrier to entry, because to fight the blind one, you got to clear the 2nd floor and save the specialist. So potentially to fight these future ones, you need to clear the 3rd and 4th floors to activate the generators and power those lower floors that could have those bosses that we are going to be encountering. But like I'm saying, can't wait to what I got to say in that comment section down below around that one, because I do think it is a very interesting topic, and especially taking into account what do we know from the past and how we have seen generators function in the past. There's some interesting takeaways that could be had from there as well. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and just clear out the rest of this zone. There's that one frenzy giant at the end that we do need to worry about, so maybe we'll give him a little bit of that flare gun love, because especially now that we're not in hard mode, these flare guns are even more powerful than ever before. And TBH, we should be able to use some of this amazing saw blade mace to kind of finish up the rest of these dudes. Look at that, man, 60 damage on this thing. This thing's like a scythe with an active skill, and oh, it is a nice active skill, might I say, because saw blade time. Look at that. Oh, and the critical too. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention it's capable of criticals. If that's not good, I don't know what is, my guy. Look at how quick that active skill mod regenerates too. Let's get some heals off, and let's get some more saw in half going as well. And Roman zombies, they don't even stand a chance, dude. They got like 40 health. That is not enough to survive this onslaught. Yeet! Oh man, the range on this thing too. Oh my god! Dude, it seems like we're getting criticals pretty decently often with this, because once you get this bad boy to its max modded capabilities, it is capable of quite a little bit. God dang it, I was gonna try and swarm you, get the jump on you over there. Oh, you didn't get hit by the critical. That makes me sad, boy. What might make me happy, boy, though, right, is if we could get sneak attack. I don't know if we can sneak around back there. Oh, baby, we can. It's gonna be risky business, but YOLO, I suppose. We can't really escape through the back, so we're going to... Okay, hold on. Oh, we're dying of thirst too. Oh, we can't escape. Oh no. Okay, let's escape a little bit. I didn't expect us to die of thirst in the middle of this. You're evil, game. Come on now, I thought I had a little bit of hydration left over. You don't gotta do me like that, but I'll go ahead and pump this guy full of, like, I think 3 of those should put plenty of flame into him. He's gonna fizzle out a little bit. He has 18 health. Well, all right then, big boy. See ya! Oh my god, you just broke almost half my clothes. Rude, if I say so myself. But let's go ahead and put a couple zombie candles on fire and start bringing an end to this episode of Last Day on Earth Survival, after we see mainly what a couple of these chests have, because there's a couple of things I'm definitely interested in. Number one, thank you for the finger, my guy. That's what I'm talking about. I'll probably come back for the rest of this stuff too, because our inventory is a little bit filled with our stuff from the bunker. Definitely just wanted to, see what this place had though, because as we know, that finger is the key to some pretty nice salvation over at Bunker alpha, so I'll come back and kind of loot up the rest of this. But there's also these 2 trucks up here in the north that tend to have like first aid kits and like metal plates and stuff like that. So do want to check these out as well, and then we'll go ahead and I'll just come back for the rest of the stuff. Because again, I know that our inventory is pretty full, but yeah, I mean, we'll live and we'll grab the rest of the stuff. But you over here, Mr. Convoy, do you have anything good for me? Come on, baby. Give me that going away present. I got the finger. Can I get some high valuable metal as well? No whammy, 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 no whammy. Let's freaking go. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Woo! I would call that a good day. Let's go and grab those bad boys back, and I'll put the scrap metal away for now. We'll come back for that, and we have acquired the goods that I was looking for. But with that said, with that done, that's going to go to start bringing an end to this episode of Last Day on Earth Survival. Thank you guys a whole ton for watching. This was an awesome one. I'll talk to you next one. See ya.